So today we're going to do a short video showing how I use Mr. Colour Leveling Thinner to strip off paint from body panels. You can buy this from myself and Ultimate Modern Products. Go on our site, look in thinners, and you'll find it there. So I got my ill-fated Honda Fireblade Fairings. This is about the third time they've been painted. I kind of given up. I've gone to paint it black now. So to remove the paint safely and easy, we're going to use some Mr. Hobby Leveling Thinner. We're going to use a toothbrush, our airbrush, and then some Airbrush Cleaner at the end. So this is just our 0.2 apex. We're going to do about 20 odd psi. We're going to put about 4ml of leveling thinner in our cup, and we're just going to brush it all over with our paintbrush, and you'll see just how fast it gets to work. So I've got my extractor booth on, I've got my respirator on because this stuff absolutely stinks, and I'm doing it over a glove so it doesn't soak into all the paper underneath and stink the place out. This will take off acrylics, water-based, alcohol-based, it'll take off lacquers, enamels, as long as they've not been curing for months on end. It'll even take 2K off if you get to it quick and it doesn't fully set. But literally use the brush to agitate it. It'll go straight through decals, straight through the paint, straight through to the primer, right down to the bare body panels. So the first step here is to get the majority of the paint loose. So we're just going to use our brush to scrub it all around. Load up the brush, let the bristles do the work. Now I've used this many times. This was a tip I picked up from Norman Dennison. Remember the live crew ages ago told us about using this. It even works well on clear parts with no damage. It works very, very well. So remove the most of it with our toothbrush by agitating it. We're then going to load some into an airbrush and we're going to jet wash it off. So this is normally enough to remove it. If you find any little bit of straggler paint, go over it again and airbrush it off. As you can see, the airbrush does take off a good amount of it. You are going to use a bit of the thinner. It's not the cheapest way, but it's not the most expensive, but it's by far the quickest and easiest. You could use brake fluid. I'm not a fan of brake fluid at all. And it'll cost you a lot more than the minuscule amount of thinner you've just used. But there we go. For the most part, that's probably 90% of that paint gone. There's a little bit of part at the stop still straggling, but we'll give it a wipe over, have a little look. I think I can see a little bit of primer still left. A little bit of paint, so we'll give it another scrub over. Now, I've not had any issues doing this. You've got to be careful of panels that have got weak points like pins or very thin in the middle like this. Don't put a lot of pressure on. It doesn't weaken it, but it can soften it in places. I find once you've got it all off and then you hit it with something to neutralise it as such, I use Airbrush Cleaner, it's fine, and let it sit, air dry, scuff it up again, prep your panels like we always do, and then come in with your primer again and primer it just fine. So that's it now, nearly all gone, a little bit there, we're going to get with a cotton bud. We think sod it, let's go over a little bit more. Just a leveling thinner, jet wash it in, and there we go. Quick, simple and easy. I've done entire car bodies with this before. Now the only thing I would recommend is it doesn't seem to particularly like glued joints. So if you've got, say, a front wheel arch of a bike, there's a good chance it will unglue it. So if you've got sections together, be very, very careful and just take your time. And of course, you could always use the advantage to help you remove glue parts as well. But that's basically it. Quick, simple, and easy. Once you're happy all the Mr. Leveling Thinner has taken off the paint, I load up my airbrush with Airbrush Cleaner. This is alcohol based, and I just hose down the entire body panel, and for me it gets rid of all the leveling thinner, kind of neutralizes the effect of it, and just cleans it up. And then let it dry, wipe it over a kitchen towel, like I say, prep it, scuff it up, degrease it, and we're ready for primer straight away. So there we go. Quick, simple and easy method of stripping paint with no damage or hassle.